Hey guys, in today's video we are going to talk about ghosting. What is that exactly, and just how frequently does it really happen here in the Philippines? And we're also going to talk a little bit about punctuality and showing up on time. Stick around. Alright guys, so ghosting. What is ghosting? So ghosting is when somebody just basically disappears. Typically it happens when somebody's chatting with you for a while and all of a sudden, maybe communication's going great and boom, they just disappear. Stop communicating, they're offline, the profile's gone, who knows what it is. And of course punctuality, we'll talk a little bit about that, but mainly the video is going to be about ghosting. Now, I just got finished meeting up with a viewer of mine, met up for coffee, and we were talking about this, and that's kind of how it led into this video topic. But he was telling me, and I have the same experience, and I've talked to others, so we'll jump into some of that too. We were talking about how his responses when he was in the United States were about 20 to 30% more when he was in the United States. And then when he was on the dating app and here in the Philippines, his responses went down probably around 30%. And when a lot of the girls found out he was here in the Philippines, they ghosted him. They just disappeared and stopped communicating. And why is that, do you think? Well, these are probably the girls that are the scammers. The ones that aren't even really interested in meeting anybody in person. They simply want somebody who's in their home country and who they can extract money from probably. And one of the ways is, they tell you all the things you want to hear, the I love yous, the I can't wait to be with you, and, talking about your future together and all of that. And they really don't want to meet in person. It has nothing to do with them wanting to meet you in person. They really don't. They want to keep you long distance. And they want to get to the point where maybe you're sending them a monthly allowance or something. We talked about allowances in a previous video. And there's extreme cases on the ghosting, which you can see by checking out the video up above with my friend Daniel that happened to him. He was telling me, again, he would tell girls, he would say, hey, yeah, I'm here in the Philippines. He would ask them, where are you from? Oh, I'm in Cebu City. Where in Cebu City? Oh, I'm in Mandawi. And he'd be like, oh, I'm here too. Let's go ahead and meet. And guess what happened? Boom, disappeared. And again, so obviously not all. And also this happens the other way around, right? Guys ghost girls, Maybe a prettier one comes along and all of a sudden that one's history just stops communicating with her. And she's left wondering, well, what the heck happened? Everything was going great. We were getting along well, and he just disappeared. But that's a whole other video. So on today's video, we're really just talking about the girls disappearing, ghosting. And so, again, they really don't want to meet you. They really are just looking for somebody, I believe, to send money. Or maybe they're just really extremely shy. And they don't have what it takes to really go and meet a foreigner. Then again, they could bring a friend or a family member, right? Like I talked about in the last video. Now, my friend had an extreme scenario where he got here and she stopped communication altogether. And this is why I tell foreigners, don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you've never met the girl, and you book a flight. Your whole reason to come to the Philippines is to meet this one girl. And maybe you book, okay, I would have no interest in going, for example, the city of General Santos in Mindanao. Maybe the girl is from General Santos. Well, anyway, he plans a trip to General Santos. He books a hotel in General Santos. And guess what? When he gets here, she ghosts him. She stops communicating whatsoever. And where is he at? He's in General Santos, Mindanao. And do you think he would want to be there for any other reason other than this girl? Probably not. He went there specifically for her. He booked and paid for a hotel for 2 weeks in General Santos, and now this girl has stopped communicating with him. And here he is stuck in a place, I'm not necessarily stuck, but he's in a place that he really had no interest in maybe going. This is why I say it's better to have a girl maybe come to your location or to a place that you really want to be. Or maybe you just fly into General Santos for a day or two and then you guys travel off to Cebu or Bohol, wherever you would want to go. But to plan an entire trip around this one girl and you have never met in person, you don't know if it's going to work out, to me seems crazy because, again, ghosting could happen. You plan a trip to the Philippines, maybe you had no interest in even going to the Philippines. Or you plan a trip into this one particular city and you book all these, you got all these plans, you've already booked flights for you and her to go to these different places, and she ghosts you. She never shows up. And you've spent a lot of money and wasted a lot of valuable time. So what is the solution? Well, again, I think not putting all your eggs in one basket. Don't fully commit into a relationship with a girl online if you've never met in person. There's no foolproof way to completely protect yourself, but at least go to a place that you have some interest in, right? Maybe you want to go to Cebu because you want to go check out the waterfalls down south. You want to go to swim with the whale sharks. You want to go see do some island hopping or snorkeling or scuba diving. At least that way, if she ghosts you, then you are still in a place that you want to see. Don't go and delete your dating profile and everything right away. I know a lot of guys will chat with a girl online and they are already getting to the point where, hey, we're exclusive. We haven't met in person, but we're exclusive. We'll both delete our dating profiles, and then all this time, and she ghosts you, and now you have nobody that you've been chatting with, and maybe you're only here 2 weeks, and that's not even enough time to really try to meet a girl in person or even get online and try to meet somebody. It's hard. Ideally, I think the best option is maybe chatting with 2 or 3 girls that you're really interested in. And, of course you have your favorite and maybe your second favorite and your third. So you spend most of your time on this first one. And that's who you really plan on meeting. And the other 2, if it doesn't work out with the first one, at least you could go to number 2 and say, hey, okay, I'm here, let's meet. Or number 3. And you have a backup. Now, if things work out great with the first girl that you've been chatting with, then by all means, message the other girl, say, hey, I just want to let you know I've met somebody. I appreciate, I'm sorry for taking up your time, but I've met somebody. Maybe not have them remove their dating profiles, and you don't remove your dating profile yet. Try to come to some kind of agreement that nothing is concrete, we are not exclusive, we are not boyfriend, girlfriend, we are not in an exclusive relationship until we have met in person. That's the way I would deal with it. Again, I've talked to plenty of expats who have made trips out here to the Philippines because of one girl, and she's ghosted them. She disappeared, and they get there and now they're at a place maybe they don't really want to be, and now they're creating another dating profile and trying to meet somebody again. So that is why I would do it the way I suggest. Now, ghosting has happened to me too. A lot of girls I had chatted with before online, and when I've said, yeah, I'm here in the Philippines, guess what? Same thing. Same as this my friend that I met today. Just disappeared. And so at that point you really do wonder, they're probably just in it for the money, and as soon as they found out you're actually here, you want to physically meet, then they're like, the interest is gone, because they can't exactly hustle or try to get a bunch of money from you if you're already here and you're already wanting to meet. It's much harder to do that. So another thing is, Maya and I actually met. We've met some Filipinas before, not really friends of ours, but just like an acquaintance of an acquaintance or something like that, that have told us, yeah, I'm chatting with this foreigner. We've been chatting for a year or 6 months, and he sends me money each month, but now he's coming, and she's saying that I really don't even want to meet him. She never really wanted to meet the guy in the first place. She really just wanted that money to come in each month, but she really had hoped that he would never come. And so how realistic is this relationship? You don't know. That's why I say you've got to meet them in person. Don't just throw all your eggs into one basket. Diversify a little bit. Now, we'll end this with punctuality. The thing with punctuality is you have to understand that for a lot of Filipinos, it's almost just normal just to arrive late. And for us Westerners, we live and die by punctuality. It was beat into me when I was in school. I used to have a teacher who would say, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, don't bother showing up. And then, of course, the military really pounded it into my head, and you didn't even have those rules in the military. It was either you show up early, and that's it. You don't show up exactly. If the formation was at 8 a.m., you didn't show up at 8 a.m. You're showing up at 10 minutes to 8. There is no showing up at 8 o'clock or after, and that didn't exist. You showed up then, and that was it, or you're being punished. So what I had started to do was for example, I would maybe meet at the mall. We would chat and say, okay, hey, let's meet at the mall or somewhere really close to where I lived. And I would wait till they actually arrived. You wouldn't believe how many times they'd say, okay, I'm on my way. And guess what? 20 minutes later, I would say, where are you? Oh, I just got out of the shower. I'd be like, what do you mean you just got out of the shower? You just told me you're on your way. So I don't know if they were lost in translation or what, but they were not on their way. They were just getting out of the shower. They hadn't even gotten the taxi yet. One way you could do that is you can book them a Grab. You can pay for it online and book them a Grab, and you can see when the Grab picks them up and them traveling back. You can follow the Grab car and know that they're okay. She's actually in the car. She's on her way. So that is one way to do it. And same with like going home. You can pay for their taxi ride and you can track them. You can see that they're going home or where they're being dropped off at. So those are some ways. But yeah, I got to the point where I was so fed up with waiting around, or them maybe even not even showing up. I wouldn't call that ghosting. I would just call that a no call or a no show. Being stood up is what I would call that. The ghosting is really more of an online thing. But yeah, I just got to the point where like sometimes you'd get a girl, okay, we're going to meet at 6 p.m. for dinner. 6:15 comes, 6:30, 7 o'clock, and finally I got to the point where I did not meet anybody anymore unless they were already at the destination. So I would always choose destinations that were very close to where I lived. So bear in mind ghosting and punctuality when you come out to the Philippines. Be prepared for those two things and you will be okay. But I just want to talk about that a little bit because I did just have this interesting talk with this viewer who we had coffee and chatted about ghosting, and it was interesting how he had stated that once he was here in the Philippines and he would tell them, hey, I'm here, let's meet, boom, 30% of the girls he was chatting with online would just disappear. 30%. That's quite a big chunk, for them just to disappear. So again, these are the girls you wouldn't want anyway because they're obviously in it for some other reason. Guys, don't forget to check out my website, geointhephilippines.com, where you can get my geo travel essentials that I highly recommend for living or traveling out in the Philippines. You can also book a consultation with me. If you have never visited the Philippines or you are moving to the Philippines and you want information about where to stay, where to live, things to do and see, maybe how the visas work and things like that, book a consultation with me. I'd be glad to talk to you. Private consultations, just one-on-one, and get all your questions answered. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and I'll see everyone next time. Bye.